when we are traveling or when we are designing one space, they are, because of some budget constraint, because of clients, we do keep imagining new spaces. We as architects design spaces as, it is space design, it is not designed as per a lot of time it is not designed as per functionality. The client is actually thinking as per functionality. He is thinking, I just want a bedroom of a certain size to live in, but you're imagining maybe a full a full set of bedroom come dresser come a big size of washroom or whatever, you're designing as a bigger space, and he's thinking as per more of functionality, that I just need basic functionality and I don't need so much. It is you who basically try to make them imagine that it can look grandeur. The grandeur is yours given, and also he is thinking of budget constraints. But when you're designing, a lot of times you're not thinking of budget because it's not your pocket, right? You're just thinking haywire, and you're like, okay, fine. Before the budget comes in picture, let me give them a picture that what can really happen. For example, recently I visited a site. It was a flat and it had a beautiful view of a lake. The moment I entered, before looking to the site, I was actually looking at the view of the site. The view of the site was so beautiful that I wanted to picture that front face where the view was, that maybe my lounge come bedroom come chilling zone come everything should be in the front of the space. But client is thinking, no, I think I need a formal drawing room at this side, and I will just divide the space accordingly. And I am thinking that I need that space to look as big as possible from the moment I enter the house till the end of it. I am not wanting that I will cut down it into a smaller flat. The moment you just start cutting down spaces, there are maybe 10 spaces in one big space, that just cut down the vision of that area. Similarly, they had a certain budget in hand, and I am imagining that because of that certain view, I need to put in the best possible materials, and I am not planning the budget for them. So the thoughts are absolutely different. There are a lot of family opinions. Maybe there are opinions that client would have from the earlier architects that they might have met or tried to get things designed from. So they are coming down from a lot of different point of views, and we as architects are just imagining the space to be as a spatial design, not like just like the small product design. We are not designing it as like a product. So what happens when the number doesn't support the vision? Like I was mentioning, a lot of times people have a constraint to budget. For example, if there is a 1800 square feet flat, the client says, I am in his head, he is calculating and saying that I am going to just finish this project maybe in 10 lakhs. I'm just giving you a random number. The moment you enter, he is open to paying you as a designer, but he is not open to spend more than 10 lakhs in his head for the entire space. He would start calculating from every smaller aspect to the bigger aspect, from flooring to ceiling to wall elevations or whatever, what paneling are you going to use or whatever. He is going to start calculating. So he sat with me and he actually calculated every little aspect by square feet. Flooring, so built up area maybe 1000 square feet. I'm going to use this floor, approximately this price. He's calculating. In his head, he's doing the maths. He reached at 9.5 and he's like, oh my god, I am set. I am going to do this project in 10 lakhs. I'm going to pay her some 3% of the project, and I am going to get it designed as someone would have got it designed, maybe a 500 square yard house. That is his imagination. But what happens that you actually have to maybe give him the design that he's seeking, but use the materials that fit in his budget particularly. So what they offer and the dilemma of how they are going to work around it, that you have to solve. And sometimes when you explain them your vision, they might increase their budget also. Sometimes it is just the hesitation between you and the architect, that maybe he is just spending my money for no reason. But if you make them understand the reasons behind it and the usability or functionality of that space, they might change their mind. Why client change their mind? Like he said that, you know, they keep getting things corrected every now and then. Why does it happen? According to you, the new informations that they keep asking or giving, it happens because of a lot of reasons, like I said, that they might have met another architect in the past, or maybe they were confused with the designs that you shared with them, and they were discussing with the same designs with other friends of theirs or another architect, thinking that maybe he is not the right person for me, I might look for someone else. So a lot of such problems are solved with the visualization that we create, visuals that we create for them, for the new desires. Right now we are at the moment that, you know, Instagram or Pinterest has become one thing that people keep scrolling. Today they discussed with you maybe the neoclassical design. Then they are scrolling and they are thinking, no, maybe this is getting too much, this is something else. So every day they are going to give you their new desires. But where can you stop them? If you can actually put everything that they had spoken at the first go in the visuals that you are making, the trust will be built that the communication is happening. If the communication is transferred in the visuals made, I believe the change that is happening constantly can be stopped and can be, you know, can be settled. Yeah, so this was one residence. Then again I will talk about, there were 5 different personalities in the same house. There were 5 generations living in the same house. When these things happen, that you have a huge house in hand and there are generations from maybe who are maybe in their 70s or 80s to the generations who are maybe just the kids, the 10-year-old. They are different personalities and you have to actually come down to one conclusion for them. A lot of times we design spaces in one direction, but in this case, because they were different personalities, I don't see that slide. I don't know if it is there. No, it's not there. So there was a slide, I think it is not here right now. We had designed one space for the grandparents. Grandparents wanted different rooms. Now it was a funny thing that the grandparents are talking to me. They are unable to tell that we two are different personalities and we've been living together for good like 40 years of our life, and right now we do want to live in the same house but maybe not the same space. So being transparent is sometimes very difficult for the client, but I could gauge that because they have enough space, they are thinking of creating 2 different bedrooms for both of them. Like the lady wanted a different bedroom and the man wanted a different bedroom, and absolutely different styles. The lady wanted a completely classical, the dream that she had been dreaming for so long, and the man wanted very simple, subtle. भाई खर्चा नहीं चाहिए, जितना बच जाएगा, जो स्कोप मेरा होगा, I will use that money and I will make my bedroom, is what he was saying. Then there were second generations again who were looking for a smart, modern, contemporary design. Someone who was sketching by themselves and saying that, you know, I want French windows, I want contemporary interiors, and I will make a fusion out of all of it. They were children who wanted boho contemporary design. There was a young girl who was wanting it to be completely very sharp, chic, and boho in nature. So when we designed separate places for all these personalities, the common spaces had to come together, and now you have to read which of these personalities are more stronger and where can I bind the entire journey and entire house when it comes to the common spaces. So such design challenges keep coming in this journey, and it is just the thought process behind every project that we take over. So how the journey, we all know that we make sketches, we make renders, we make models and material boards. This is where the Knowledge Center is trying to help. We have created a place where you can actually walk your plan. So when we see a plan on an A4 sheet, there is a very limited visualization that a client can do. For you, maybe the bedroom or the bathroom is 15 by 20. You can imagine, maybe because you're used to it, you can maybe just stand here and calculate, okay, what is the length of the space, and I can start imagining this is going to be my bedroom, and something like that. But for a client, it gets very difficult. On a very small paper, they are just calculating, अच्छा आप क्या बोल रहे हो, अभी ये क्या चल रहा है, मैं कहाँ बैठा हूँ, ये कितना बड़ा space है. That is how they talk. At Knowledge Center, we have created a place where you can just walk the plan. So it is 1:1 ka ratio. On the floor, you can just enter your spaces. This is going to be my bedroom, this is going to be my bathroom. So they are standing there and visualizing it. Now when it comes to the material board, usually we give a material board digitally, or we after giving that digital material board, we will go to the different vendors with the client, try choose the material, try take that sample, or maybe like you guys have it here, a small material library. We are trying to solve this issue a little deeper. We have created a 1 lakh square feet area where you have almost everything that you can plan or think for a client. You can sit down and jot down all the material samples together on the table, and when you collect them together, the material board is now not digitally but physically. So the planning of the layout is also happening physically in 1:1 ratio, and material board is also in front of you. That helps you connect with the client much easier. This one. Existing chair remove कर दो. So the trust is built on site and not in studio. Like I was mentioning, that whatever we show them sitting on a conference table, saying this is what we are imagining for you, or maybe showing the 3Ds, yes, it does build a little bit of trust with them. It does help them visualize what you're saying. But if you're there from the first meeting on the site, you're also practically looking at the ground and maybe understanding the tendencies, that maybe the problems that you're going to face on the site. Smaller things like soil investigations, and understanding the location, understanding how close-knit the next building is to the site. When you're there at the site and you listen to the client completely, and the concept sheet is in front of you, the planning that you had done in the studio, when you talk about it, standing on the site does help relate the client more to you. For example, I was right now talking about residences or maybe smaller projects that stay with you for a year and a half. You start today and maximum you will complete in 18 months. That is usually the target. The journey of the emotional journey that I've been talking about is still limited to those 18 months. You now know, if you've practiced for a few years, you now know that after 4 months the civil is going to get over. This is the stage. इस time पे client ने डांटना ही डांटना है. इस time पे client anxiety से भरा हुआ होगा. What are the emotions? You know the journey. But projects like a mall or a commercial building, which basically is going to stay with you for a very long period if that trust is built again. For example, this was one project that we started. It's called Metro World. This is a commercial building. It does have a lot of gyms or restaurants or kid zones, a multiplex. Everything is inside. But we started with them at the foundation stage. I was with them when we were standing right there thinking what this building is going to be. From that stage to today, when I am doing a lot of gyms inside, I see that the client, the first client is with me till date, and there are additions of a few clients at every stage. The multiplex guy, the owner of another salon that is opening there. So there are endless possibilities in such situations, but it can only happen if the consistency is maintained. If you imagine and tell and communicate that everything to the client at the first phase of the project. When you're imagining a building, a commercial building, you're not just imagining it as just one space. You're imagining it as 100 spaces that are going to get open eventually in that space. When we were designing, it was one of our first projects that was that big, and we were like so happy, and we were imagining that we are going to have a big installation in the center. We are planning maybe we'll have an atrium in the center and stuff like that. But then eventually I understood that, you know, it is all about calculation that the client was doing. Client was basically calculating it commercially. They were thinking that every nook and corner in the atrium also is going to pay them money, right? So that vision that they had at the first stage has to be translated much later, after maybe 5 years or 6 years of that journey. So like we've already discussed this, but then does the client understand our design the way we think they do? The technical language is obviously a fix. From smaller situations like carpenters, when they are working for us and they are talking about basic joineries, the language that they are using maybe you are unable to communicate that. Maybe that is not your language, that you did not study with, but you are the translator from that labor or the carpenter or the electrician or everyone also to the client. Client's language is not this. They don't know the technical words that you've been using. So that only can be fixed if you are communicating with them at every stage of the project. Now, managing the hard conversations. Like I was talking about the Metro World, the bigger projects, a lot of government issues are involved, a lot of illegal situations are involved. There are a lot of bad news. For example, you have to have a fire escape, or you know, there are smaller and basic things that you know ki to hona hi hona hai. But a lot of times people are trying to capture that space also internally and trying to create money out of that space also. But you have to be early with the bad news and do not say things, don't overcome it, that okay fine, we'll manage it and we will get this passed somehow, and later on at stages you will be actually destroying their trust, because initially you will be like okay fine, मैं ये करा दूँगा, ये pass हो जाएगा, and eventually when the time comes you will be like no sorry, this is illegal and this is something that we can't get passed and stuff like that. You have to manage those hard conversations with them. Try document everything. Try whatever we are talking with the client. I'm not saying record every vocal calls that you are doing with them, but definitely make an MOM of every meeting that you do. And that MOM should be shared not only on WhatsApp. WhatsApp is not something that is actually trustworthy portal. You should be very allegedly professional and mail them everything that you've been talking about. So if you're managing everything, eventually if the client is going to change their mind, or client is going to change their thoughts or design approach or strategy, but if you have everything in hand and you've got it approved in time, then eventually you can just show them and talk about it and get that conversation right. So decoding clients' objectives. A lot of times, yes, it is too expensive for them. they keep saying, can we have another option? Or they will tell you that we will think about it and let you know. The moment they will tell you that we will think about and let you know means it's a no. They are not going to think about it. Things either get passed at that very moment when you're sitting on the table, or usually they don't get passed. It's just 1% of it that they might not get time, they will not be able to go to some other resource or something, and they will have no choice but to pass it. But if the client looks at something and is unable to pass it at that very go, means he is not excited about your designs. So understand and decode those objectives of the client and get the concerns, understand the concerns beneath whatever they are saying. For example, the concerns like concerns happens like the projects like gyms or any other project which are smaller in scale though, but they are very fast. The gym, for example, this is one Chris Gaithan gym in Bangalore. The moment you get the project, you sign the deal, you're saying yes, I am the designer of this project, the clock has started. It is only going to maybe give you 3 months. That is the max. Usually we say 60 days. Why? Because the rentals are going behind. They will not say कि मेरा rental चल रहा है, आपको जल्दी करना पड़ेगा. They will say, for them, like in a commercial building, the conversation is going to maybe happen every week. Here the conversation is going to happen every hour. आपने अभी स्टार्ट किया था, कल मोमेंट पे आपको BOQ शेयर करना है, परसों सुबह सिविल ड्राइंग्स रेडी होनी चाहिए, एवरीथिंग शुड बी रेडी. So the project is really going to go fast and the client is not going to show you or share with you the problems he's going through. For them, they have just given you 60 days, come what may. You have to do it. So here the brief is important, but whatever brief that you get beneath it, understand the journey that you have only 60 days and close the project ASAP in 7 days. Those 7 days, be with the client, be around, be on the site, understand the issues that are going to come. So right now we've tried to explain how different size of projects actually make different stories and the problems that we deal with different clients. So the basic framework, we would say at the end of this, that you must listen first, keep asking questions. In the beginning, the first 7 days, first 10 days of a project, keep questioning as much as you can. After 10 days, if you start questioning, then you're someone who was not noticing anything in the first place, and the client is going to go a little on the back seat and say, okay, abhi tak isko interest nahi aaya, was the person not really listening? Read this entire room again in the first place. Don't wait to read the room much later, maybe after 10 meetings or 12 meetings. Don't start reading the room later. Read the room at the first place. Understand the emotions over the words that they've been using. Don't just show the design. Tell the story of whatever emotion they had shared with you and build that trust. That trust is going to get you the entire collaboration that we've been talking about and maybe better projects and better referrals. I think that was it, and it was basically to try make you understand how psychology of a client works. There's any question that you would want to ask? Anything that you want to add? Yes?
Point where you mentioned that the client keeps on sharing like different thoughts that they have, right?
Yeah.
Like sharing the Pinterest images.
Yeah.
After even after finalizing the design and everything. So like, how exactly do we stop it? Because like what you told, I understood it very vaguely.
So basically what happens that right now maybe I am your client, okay? I come to you and I start with a basic brief saying that okay, so and so is my residence. I've been living a certain way. Now I'm planning to have a, like I mentioned, a French oriented house, a French design. Now when I'm sending you pictures of Pinterest of different variations, maybe some of it is modern contemporary, some of it is a classical thought or a boho thing or something, any of such designs. How do you stop it? You need to start getting inside my journey. You need to know who I am, where am I coming from, what sort of residence was I living in, the basic references that I had saved in my phone initially. Why? Because the moment I came to you, I had taken enough time thinking of what I wanted. Now why am I changing thoughts? Because I am thinking that I am unable to communicate my thoughts to you. अगर मुझे लग रहा है आप नहीं समझ पा रहे हो, you are unable to understand my thought process right now, I will keep giving you more options till the time you reach that spot, you hit that spot that I originally was wanting you to communicate in your designs. So how do you stop it is the only way out. This is the only way out, that you need to read me as a person. I am an architect. I am someone who has been living in Europe for a very long while. And now I am telling you about myself, saying, अच्छा Europe में कहाँ? Germany. अच्छा, she's been living in Germany. She must have looked at a few places, or she must have lived in a certain places or spaces that she must be imagining right now. Now I am maybe also telling you the warmth or the relationship I have with my original house that I'm already living in. When I shifted back and I started living in Gurgaon, and now I have a particular place. अब उसके नुक्स एंड कॉर्नर्स की कौन सा ऐसा कॉर्नर है जो मुझे आज भी बहुत पसंद है, एंड आई डोंट वांट टू लीव इट बिहाइंड. नाउ आई एम रीडिज़ाइनिंग द स्पेस. आई नीड टू इंक्लूड द थॉट्स दैट I was been told, जो जर्मनी वाले thoughts या European architecture, you have to start introducing that to start with. Keep adding smaller things from the recent images also. I would not say just nullify whatever they are sending right now, but I am sure whatever they are sending is to only communicate the fact कि आप नहीं समझ रहे हो मैं क्या बोल रही हूँ. आप नहीं, you are not able to reach that design that I've been asking from the first place. The moment you will make that picture together, I think that is where, and explain me that this is where your thoughts of European architecture is sufficient. ये functionality है जो आप बोल रहे थे या मांग रहे थे, and that is where I can solve this problem of yours. So आप सिर्फ डिज़ाइन दोगे नहीं, you will tell the story that I am only telling you to myself again. You have to come back to me with my own story. So like I said, just don't give the designs, give the story, tell that story, and maybe that is where you can stop and close the design. Yeah? Anything else? Anybody else want to mention anything? Yeah? Thank you.